Stupid liars on paternity court.
I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that. You're gonna do a whole bunch of things you haven't done up to this point. So why would we trust that you're gonna do them now that you know the baby is not yours?
He's a compulsive liar. Not only was she going on to do better, he also lied and said he'd been trying for months to get a DNA test, and I know that firsthand that that's also a lie.
Miss Ham seeks to confirm Mr. Kistner as her son Zayden's father. While he doubts paternity due to her past, he has been somewhat present. However, he lacked financial support and missed key events, leading Miss Ham's mother to step in. The family's involvement has been minimal.
Well, he may be there physically for Zayden, but he's not there financially. He doesn't have a steady job. He doesn't do as much as I would want him to do.
Have you been there for the child, Mr. Kistner?
Yes, I haven't been there.
Miss Willen, you said you're tired of playing daddy because you gotta step up.
Yeah.
Miss Ham presented baby photos of Zayden and Mr. Kistner to highlight their resemblance. While Miss Ham and her mother, Rochelle, see similarities, Mr. Kistner and his family don't. Or are they just lying to get out of this responsibility? Mr. Kistner's doubts intensify as he reveals Miss Ham slept with his close friend. Ham admits to the indiscretion.
What are these photos of, Miss Ham?
Zayden and him when they were both babies.
So these are photos of Mr. Kistner when he was a baby and of Zayden as a baby.
Probably around the same age.
And you think they look alike. There's a resemblance.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
But your family, Mr. Kistner, says there is no resemblance.
Correct.
Judge Lake asked if Miss Ham informed Mr. Kistner about her affair immediately, which she did the next day. Despite this, Mr. Kistner chose to remain in the relationship, believing Miss Ham would change. He attests that she improved as a mother, and Miss Ham asserts that apart from the indiscretion with Kistner's friend, she wasn't with anyone else.
You felt awful about it and you immediately told Mr. Kistner.
Yes, that was the next day.
And he said he still wanted to be in a relationship with you.
Yeah.
I believe that Miss Ham could show me change, and she did. She really stepped up as a mother and left all that life behind. So
She did.
She did.
Miss Ham's mother commends her daughter's transformation since becoming a mother. The family moved to offer Miss Ham a fresh start away from past troubles. The speaker, burdened with supporting everyone, recalls Miss Ham's own fatherless upbringing and values her husband's parental role in Miss Ham's life.
She has been an amazing mom, a completely different person. We made that choice as a family to move out of state to get her away from friends, and that way that life could never come up again. She can start new. They both have an opportunity here to start fresh, to start new, and put the past behind them.
Mr. Kistner harbors doubts about being the child's father, influenced heavily by his family's opinions. Rochelle observes that Mr. Kistner's commitment wavers after visits to his family, indicating their influence. She laments the constant tension between the couple and emphasizes the burden she bears in supporting the entire family.
Kistner, you are not the father.
Miss Goddard, with support from her mother, accuses Damon Harris of intentionally impregnating her to keep her with him, yet avoiding responsibility for their daughter, Anila. She's suing for a paternity test and $900 for college expenses she lost due to dropping out. Mr. Harrison admits he impregnated Miss Goddard purposefully, believing they were in love.
Your Honor, I know that he purposely got me pregnant because he told me himself, Your Honor.
Did you get her pregnant on purpose?
Yeah, I got her pregnant on purpose, Your Honor.
You did?
Yes.
And why?
Because we were in love. We were planning to have a baby, but she didn't want to have it. She wanted to go to school.
Miss Goddard admitted to Mr. Harrison that she slept with another man while they were together. Despite this revelation, Mr. Harrison remained with her throughout the pregnancy and birth, believing he intentionally fathered the child. Judge Lake highlighted that even if one tries to purposefully impregnate someone, if there are multiple partners involved, paternity could be in question.
So you admitted that you had had sex with someone else?
Yes, I did.
And he stayed with you?
Yes, because he said he knew that was his child because he purposely did it, and he knows it.
I don't think you all understand that you can purposefully try to get somebody pregnant, but if you're sleeping with somebody else too, it could be the other person.
Mr. Harrison stated he doesn't recall some earlier statements, pointing out that many women go to college while pregnant. Judge Lake expresses concern over Miss Goddard's stupid decision to have unprotected relations with multiple partners while prioritizing her education. She emphasized that Miss Goddard should have been more responsible and protective of her future.
He attempted to get you pregnant on purpose. What I also heard is you, a young woman, also say that I was sleeping around with him, but I also was sleeping around with another man, unprotected, the man that could potentially be the child's father as well. If you were serious about getting your education, you wouldn't have been engaging in those activities.
LaTanya confronts Mr. Harrison about his lack of presence during the baby's birth. She states that she had to force him to return to the hospital, and even then, he slept through his time there. She further accuses him of choosing to get high with his friends instead of signing the birth certificate. Mr. Harrison felt no shame and continued with his stupid lies about oversleeping.
I stayed there, Your Honor.
I had to threaten you to come back. I called you on the phone and said, get your behind back here to this hospital right
Your
now.
Honor, that's after she had
And
the.
he's left
Your
the
Honor,
whole
that's
time
after
here, Your
she had the baby, Your Honor.
And let's not talk about the birth certificate when you sign it. You'd rather go get high with your cousins and your friends than come there and sign the birth certificate.
Judge Lake tries to refocus the conversation on the child in question. She questions the choices made by the individuals, emphasizing the consequences of unprotected sex. The judge also questions when Mr. Harrison was informed about the potential infidelity, to which he states he was told after the baby was born.
Okay, all right, hold on. Go ahead, Mr. Harrison.
How would they know if I'm taking care of my son?
I was your girlfriend. We was in love, remember?
Okay, you was at the house. Where were you at all the time?
Watching your son when you were
Where were you
outside.
at all the time? Tell the truth.
Let's get back to the child in question. Ultimately, this does not add to our argument.
Miss Goddard confirms to the judge the date she had unprotected intercourse with Mr. Harrison. When asked about her intimacy with another man, she reveals it was on February 28th, around her birthday. She explains that due to Mr. Harrison's multiple infidelities, this led to intimacy with the other man. And now they wait for the DNA results to reveal the truth.
It has been determined by this court. Mr. Harrison, you are her father. Now you know.
Yep, and I will be taking care of her, as a real man should.
Mr. Jackson has brought a case to court, suspecting Miss Eland of committing paternity fraud by alleging he is the father of her 2-year-old daughter, Jemiah. He discovered Jemiah's existence just a year ago. Since then, he has denied being her father. On the other hand, Miss Eland claims that Mr. Jackson is deliberately denying their daughter to evade responsibility.
You believe the defendant, Ms. Eland, has committed paternity fraud by claiming you fathered her 2-year-old daughter, Jemiah.
Yes, Your Honor.
You say Mr. Jackson is a liar.
Yes, ma'am.
Who's denying your daughter so he can avoid responsibility.
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Jackson described how he met Miss Eland. He encountered her near his workplace, next to a public aid office. After a brief introduction and exchange of phone numbers, he walked her to the bus stop. Later that day, they connected over a phone call, and that very night, they became intimate on a back porch. Was he telling the truth?
And she was coming out of there. And I said, hey, how you doing? You know what I'm saying? Let me talk to you, get your number, whatever. She said, sure. Wrote the number down. I said, where you headed to? She said, I'm going home. I said, okay, the bus stop is that way. Let me walk you to the bus stop. I walked Aaliyah to the bus stop. She gave me the number. Right after that, I called her. She answered the phone. That night, me and Leah had sex on the back porch.
Wow, okay.
Mr. Jackson is skeptical of Miss Eland's truthfulness regarding another man, whom he claims to know about through her family. Miss Eland disputes his claim, emphasizing that their interactions were brief and mainly consisted of greetings. She asserts that after his one-time entrance into her home, their meetings shifted to the car, which she terms as car action.
Mr. Jackson,
Yes,
I want to know, why do you feel she is not telling the truth? What do you know about the man on the back porch?
Her family member
Thank you.
let me know
Thank
who the guy was. I asked her. I said, who is this guy? She says, Aaliyah.
He don't even talk to my family member. When he comes over, he don't even. Most he do is hey, and that's about it. It's me going out that door, going down the stairs with him.
They was letting me
That's
come
about
in the
it.
house.
That's
they
about
stopped
it.
all of that. I was coming in the house.
Mr. Jackson was informed by a familiar woman, Miss Eland's family member, that Aaliyah had a baby resembling him. He was taken aback, having not known about the pregnancy or the child, who was already a year old by then.
One more week, Yana. I came, she's gone. She don't live here no more. Okay, cool, she moved. Guess she called it off and let me know. Leave it alone. Man of my business. One day, headed to the bus stop, see a woman that I know, so familiar. Oh, look at her. I know you from somewhere. Yeah, Leah's family member. Okay, by the way, Leah had your baby. That baby looked just like you.
Eland created a fake Facebook account to contact Jackson about their daughter. After sending him a picture, he met her and spent 2 hours with their child. He promised to return, but vanished again. When she reached out for assistance, he claimed she would deactivate the account or block him. Well, the DNA result will tell us who's telling the truth.
You are the father. Woo! You are the father. That's your beautiful little girl.
Miss Osborne brought her mother to court, alleging she misled her about her biological father's identity. She believes Billy Jack Fitzmaurice is her father, and, with her aunt, has requested a paternity test to confirm the truth. Her mother, however, claims another man is Miss Osborne's biological father. At 12, she was told differently.
And then all of a sudden, when I was about 12, I got told otherwise.
What happened when you were 12?
We were just sitting watching TV, and all of a sudden, she looks at me, she says, you know, there's a possibility that another man could be your father.
And what was your reaction?
At the moment, I didn't know what to do. I kind of just left the room, went and called my aunt.
And your aunt, Miss Brooks?
Yes.
For 12 years, Miss Osborne's mother, Donna, never specified who her daughter's biological father was. Despite Miss Osborne living with Billy Jack Fitzmaurice's family, Donna claims she allowed this because she was young and they could provide a better life for her daughter. Are these just stupid lies?
Yes, and at the time, his family took her in. I was young, and I knew that they would have a good life for her, and they stepped up and asked to take her, and I knew that they could provide a better life for her at that time because I was young and naive and stupid. So I let them take and raise her. I've been in her life, and I've done things for her. And
Savannah expresses the pain she feels from not knowing who her real father is and how difficult it was to grow up believing someone was her father, only to find out it might not be true. Her mother, in response, expresses regret and explains that she waited until Savannah was older to tell her the truth.
Savannah, when you hear your mother speak and she says that she just allowed them to believe what they wanted to believe because she wanted to make sure you were safe. I know it's hard for you, but look at your mother and just tell her what that feels like.
It really feels horrible to not know who my real father is. After growing all these years, to believe somebody else was my father.
Donna was introduced to the family while working as a stripper. They believed Savannah was Billy Jack's daughter. Donna insisted she never confirmed Billy as the father to anyone. The family member questions why their family raised Savannah if Donna was uncertain of the paternity. Donna cites her instability at the time.
So when he brought Donna home, we were a little shocked because at the time she was working as a stripper and we didn't know what to believe, but we believed my brother and Donna both when they said that Billy was her biological father.
But you don't remember telling them any of this, Miss Osborne?
no, Your Honor.
Savannah believes her sister was fathered by another man due to their many similarities. However, when the sister, Miss Patton, is questioned, she believes a different man is her father, citing a connection with him and his family. Yet, she's unsure about the paternity of Savannah and waiting for that DNA result.
Ms. Brooks and Savannah are related.
I love you, Savannah, so much.
Mr. Matherson and his mother assert that he is not the father of Miss Robinson's son, Jaden. They accuse her of avoiding a paternity test for years. On the other hand, Robinson and her mother insist that Mr. Matherson has always known he's the father and should accept his responsibilities. Did Mr. Matherson lie about a delay in addressing the issue?
I waited, I tried last year to contact this same court, and she refused. She was ducking and dodging, you know.
I do see in the court records, original contact date is June of 2015, so that was more than a year ago. You say Ms. Robinson's been ducking and dodging.
Yes, Your Honor.
Aletha was advised to get a paternity test for Jaden due to Alexis's perceived promiscuity. Alexis believes this demand started after a dispute with Aletha. Aletha argues she requested the test due to challenges seeing Jaden, while Taisha asserts concerns over threats made against the child.
The thing is, Alexis, from the beginning when we found out,
She
Alexis
confused.
with
She don't know what's
Jaden,
going on. She don't know who she
it
wants
was
the
told
child
to
father
me.
be.
It was told to me
That's all.
to get a paternity test when we found out she was pregnant by close friends.
So someone told you
Yes.
to get a paternity test?
Correct, because she's very promiscuous and that she is following in her mother's footsteps.
Alexis asserts that Taiwan showed no responsibility towards their child, prompting her to handle the financials. Taisha and Alexis argue over money meant for the child's care. Taiwan and Alexis confirm their high school relationship and admit to not using protection.
Jaden, I'm sorry.
Taiwan was not showing me any responsibility that he would be able to take care of my child.
Y'all wanted him to give y'all his money to put in a bank.
I
y'all enjoy.
Man, we're
talking
about a newborn child, so I was taking full responsibility.
Mr. Matherson reveals information about another man Alexis may have been involved with. Alexis claims she only learned about the paternity doubts last year and accuses Taiwan's family of being money hungry. She recalls the demand of $25 a week for the baby's expenses.
What guy is that, Mr. Matherson?
Heard
A
about
guy named, a couple days later, she told me because someone told her if she didn't tell me, they were going to tell me.
I
She
did
did. So
recall
she
my
came to
mom
me and
didn't
told
even
me
allow me to
that
have
all
a
they did
cell
was
phone at this
kiss.
time.
So all this is a lie, Miss Robinson.
Correct.
Basically, this is the first time we ever heard it.
We'll see.
Ever.
You never even heard about this questioning of the paternity.
Mr. Matherson claims he never had the chance to sign the birth certificate for the child. Despite his repeated requests to do so, he was continually put off, and eventually, the mother disappeared. The evidence he presents is the birth certificate itself, which does not list his name as the father, even 3 years later.
Yes, I didn't get a chance to sign the birth certificate. I kept calling. Oh yeah, we're gonna do it. Never got to do it. Next thing you know, she disappeared after Christmas. You know, I got evidence,
Pop up with another.
What evidence is that? You're saying that you were asking to sign this. When are we gonna execute? And they kept telling you, we're gonna do it.
The discussion revolves around financial responsibilities and care for Jaden. The speaker mentions that since Jaden's birth, her mother has been assisting with his upbringing. Despite now having a job and attempting to take on her responsibilities, she notes a lack of effort from Mr. Matherson. Will Mr. Matherson be more responsible after seeing a DNA result?
Mr. Matherson, you are the father. That's your little boy.
Can we see him?
Your Honor.
Now can we see
May I
him?
have that paper, please?
Oh, honey, I
have
can hold
custody?
This was about to have that. That's what's going on.
May I have custody?
Partial.
Hold on.
Partial, full?